All right, are we good? Okay, very good. Well, welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the, what day is it? June 2nd. I think it's June already. We're almost halfway through. Wow. So welcome to the June 2nd meeting of the Temple Terrace Community Redevelopment Agency. I would like to call the meeting to order, and board members, has everybody had an opportunity to review our minutes from our March 17th meeting? And if so, is there a motion?
Second.
Motion is second. Any corrections or amendments to the minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. The minutes are adopted. I'd like to call our Community Development Director, Mr. Pauly, to the podium and to briefly explain the format of today's meeting. Good afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Keep wanting to say good evening. I'm
I
programmed.
almost said it too. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Again, Greg Pauly, Director of Community Development. We have a busy afternoon for you this afternoon. And before we start, I would like to just remind everyone that the purpose of the CRA portion is not to enter into an agreement with any one of the buyers that are in the room today, but to see which ones have brought forward ideas and proposals that you would like to advance to the following city council meeting. And at that point, then obviously there'll be more time for that. You do have 7 proposals to review today. For the sake of time, we've asked all the presenters to limit their proposals to 10 minutes each. We have a lot to get through. We have a lot of details, and we want them to limit it to 10 minutes each. After which we will have time for generalized questions and discussion amongst yourselves and any Q&A that you may have for myself, the broker, or the potential buyers. I think I covered the overall general here. Just real quick, one other piece is the proposals that you're going to see in just a moment were a result of the advertisement notice that we published on March 6th of this year. It ran from March 6th to April 6th, and after April 6th is when we cut off the deadline, not accepting any new supplements or proposals to present to you here today. That is in accordance with the rules that we have to follow for the CRA. So with that being said, I would like to introduce Mr. John Lochner. John is not only going to provide a brief introductory summary of the proposals, but he's also going to help organize the presentations coming to and from the podium. So with that, Mr. Lochner.
Thank you, Greg. Good afternoon, everyone. We're pleased to introduce offers for the purchase and development of 2 parcels owned by the city. The first one is parcel 8901. This is a 1.75 acre site with frontage on North 56th Street. Next slide. Is that me? We received 4 valid offers during the public notice offer period. They were from TMA Investment Group LLC for a retail restaurant development, Enigma Events LLC for a retail restaurant entertainment development, Fountain Square TT LLC for a retail restaurant development, and Albi Properties LLC for a retail restaurant development. The order of these presentations on this slide is the order that we received the valid proposals from the offers, and that is the order that we will have them present. And as Greg mentioned, we will have 10 minutes with a 12-minute hard cutoff where I will escort you away from the podium. And with that, I'd like to get started, and let's have TMA Investments please come up to the podium.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Oh, I have this. Right there. If I can point you anywhere else. Good afternoon, gentlemen. My name is A.T. Wadi, and with TMA, we're interested in both the properties. We talked to the city a couple of times. We'd like to do a retail restaurants, like some other, retail in the first property. I don't know. Which one is this?
8901.
That's 8901. And I'm going to hand this one after that to Malad. Malad, she's our engineer. She can give better idea than I could about all that. So I'm not going to get into something that's not my forte. Okay, Malad, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Malad Allawi and I am the architect of the both projects in both properties. I designed myself the 10 stores on property 8447 and actually 10 stores of 8901 and 11 stores on 8447. According to the CRA standard design book, with Mediterranean style or kind of Spanish style and with all of the other regulations. So, slides like that, right? Right. Okay. So the TMA is represented by 3 partners, Mazin, Atif, and Taer. The 3 of them, they have a strong background of all kinds of investment, construction, and retail development. And this, I believe that you guys had enough time to review it on the submitted files. Now, back to it, to this. Oops. One time back. How can I get back to? All right. Yes. So the description and concept plan, as again we can state it here, is the 2 projects. I'm talking about both projects to just like combine that 10-minute each, 20, because I know we're talking if that's allowed. Otherwise, I can go back to the second project when it's time for it. Because 8901, okay. Because the purpose of both of them, when I looked at the CRA, description and plan, it's almost kind of the same. We're looking for to serve the neighborhood. We're looking to serve the Temple Terrace community for like small businesses or local businesses, and like we're looking also for a growth, Temple Terrace growth. So that's on the investment part of it. Now on the architecture and design part of it, it's also the same design standard book for both of them. That's what allowed me to speak on both. But yeah, we'll do one by one. Now, everything architecture, again, it was Mediterranean style. It was, it has one feature that is kind of unique and exceptional for Temple Terrace is the rooftop sitting. With that being said, we're not, as TMA group, we're not asking for any variances. So the lot allows us to have the retail store square footage accordingly with the parking spots. As a matter of fact, we are exceeding the parking spot on both projects, which allow us to have this comfortable and convenience for the rooftop people or clients or consumers that's going to be there. It's convenient for the circulation. It's convenient for the in and out from the plaza to the big avenue, the 56th North Avenue, and also for the neighbors, which is the building apartment complex in front of it. What I would say also, which is very important here, is this project is more of an add, more than an add to the Temple Terrace business growth and Temple Terrace development, more than just like a real estate kind of project. And TMA, they were very generous by adding a 5% of income for the project from the tenant given to Temple Terrace City to develop and grow even more this city, because they believe very hard that their success started from here. 3 of them, actually both of them at least, Taer and Atif. Their growth started from here. Their businesses started from here. They love the city, and they wanted to attribute more to it, not just by having some restore here and businesses here, but also to the fund of it. For the river, that we have behind the other address or the other lot, and also because it's these 2 lots or these 2 projects are literally the inches of Temple Terrace. It's the gate of Temple Terrace. So that's the reason, one of the reasons why they want to give that 5% income as long as they are the owners. And that has been stated, of course, on their proposal. So that's the facade from the streets, that's the facade from the parking. There is, kind of a sitting area in front of the stores. You can see the walkway all around, the visibility. I kept, or we kept, the landscape to the same language, the same design language of Mediterranean, design that goes with the wall tiles, goes with the iron features, goes with the towers on the top and the tiles. And again, the unique or exception thing is to have that rooftop with glass guardrails. Oh, here, right? That's the view of the whole site. As you can see, I introduced there the generator as well, because it has to be studied in my humble opinion from the beginning for the feasibility of the thing, and to align with your vision and to align with the book, with the CRA book, which again, we have 0 variance. There is EV charger station there, generators, enough parking slots for everybody. That's the view from the apartment complex. Now, this is like a more architectural technical speaking here. That's the rear elevation, which is facing the 56th Avenue. Here's the front, which is the parking and the front stores. Now, this is the floor plan with 4 types of store square footage, going from 1,500 square foot to 2,300 square foot for different use. Again, the parking slots are 5 parking spots per 1,000 square foot. The requirement, I believe, is 94, and we have there 113 or a little bit more, with EVs again and ADA. Another thing is the design of this project is complying 100% with all ADA requirements. That's the project set information. It's given from you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. Here is the purpose, or the project overview. I will go straight to the key highlights. So the site plan has been thoughtfully designed with central parking and clear circulation, the outdoor seating and active frontage to enhance user experience. Signature rooftop, again, is dining experience, and that's unique for the area. And that rooftop is not for public use. It's solely for retail spaces and restaurant use. And also, it's solely for special events or venues or celebrations. It's not going to be crowded all the time for many reasons, to keep the plaza kind of quietly friendly environment, So because, rooftops in other cities or other places are sometimes intend to have this kind of nightclub styles, which is not the vision, right? The vision is just to have more family and friendly gathering in case needed or in special events. Now, the strong investment potential with created tenant mix. We're not targeting one tenant. It is going to be diversified because that's what you guys or CRA Vision and Temple Terrace City is looking for, right? And again, the design is supported for the economic growth and community engagement. That's just some brands and some names, which most of them, they have a very strong relationship with the partners. Means they all very interested to start, even right now, being in their contract. Am I done with my 10 minutes? Beautiful, I think I say it all.
Are you wrapped up?
Almost, yeah. I think I say it all. Wherever less.
Wrap it up.
Yep. There you go. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, TMA Investments. Enigma?
Good evening.
Good evening,
Or
sir.
afternoon, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, still in the noon, yeah. Good evening, everybody. My name is Bhavandeep Singh, mostly known as Baba Singh in Temple Terrace, soon to be a resident of Temple Terrace. We are the owners of Enigma Plaza and also Enigma Realtors. And we have a small presentation in video format, so I don't have to speak much. So here it is.
We are about to begin our presentation for 8901 North 56th Street. At Enigma Group, we don't just look at a map and see parcels of land, we see the stories of the people who live there. Our mission has always been to take underutilized spaces, the quiet corners of a city, and transform them into vibrant, high-quality destinations that actually add value to the community's daily life. You've already seen our commitment to Temple Terrace. We are the team behind Enigma Plaza. As many of you know, that wasn't an easy road. We navigated the height of the pandemic, supply chain meltdowns, and the sudden loss of our lead engineer. But we didn't walk away. We pushed through because we believed in the vision of a Mediterranean-style destination for our downtown core, and we delivered. Our investment in this city is growing. From our upcoming mixed-use site at River Hills and 56th, to our 57-unit resort-style community, and our riverfront food truck park near the Hillsborough Bridge, we are fully all in on Temple Terrace. Today we're here to talk about 8901 North 56th Street. We are proposing an acquisition price of $1,260,000 to bring to life a landmark project we call Social at 56th. This isn't just another retail strip, it's a 30,000 square foot urban ecosystem. We've designed it to be a third space, that place between home and work where people actually want to gather. The culinary experience. Instead of standard fast food, we're bringing in a global food hall with artisan vendors and a central craft bar that serves both indoor and outdoor guests. The rooftop. We're planning an intimate rooftop lounge for sunsets and private events, a sophisticated escape right in the heart of downtown. The stadium vibe. The heartbeat of the project is a massive state-of-the-art outdoor projection screen. Imagine the community coming together for a Bucks game, a family movie night under the stars, or local gaming tournaments. Family connection. Most importantly, we've designed this to be safe. We want parents to be able to enjoy a meal or a drink while their children play in dedicated, visible areas. It's about connection. We want to move fast. We're looking at a 60-day preliminary due diligence, followed by a 120-day secondary period. Our goal is to have site plans in your hands within the first 90 days, giving city staff ample time to review. Once we close, we expect to break ground within 2 months, with a total construction timeline of 12 to 16 months. To make this happen, we're looking for a partnership with the city. Specifically, we're asking for landscape flexibility. Our Mediterranean design uses a lot of palms. We'd like to work with you on tree mitigation to keep that aesthetic consistent. Parking and space. We're already providing over 200 spaces, well above the requirement, but we may ask for flexibility to ensure our outdoor dining and public plazas are as vibrant as possible. Priority review. Because of the scale and the moving parts, we're requesting a streamlined, prioritized review process to keep this project's momentum on track. Social at 56th is designed to be the definitive heart of Temple Terrace. It balances family-friendly recreation with upscale nightlife, creating a live work-play environment that this city deserves. We appreciate your time, your hard work, and the opportunity to share this vision. Let's work together to make this a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, council members and mayor. I guess.
Thank you, Mr. Singh.
Enigma. Fountain Square TT.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Council. I'm Charlie Martin, representing the ownership of Fountain Square TT, a team of accomplished local businessmen, business leaders, including 2 longtime Temple Terrace residents who deeply care about the community and the vision for it. I developed a friendship with the ownership group prior to me retiring from B&B Corporate Holdings in April of 22. At the time, I was completing a couple of projects for Suhail Al-Rafi, his second Kiki's on Bruceby Downs up in Wesley Chapel, and then a warehouse over on Orient Road. Being retired gave me the opportunity to choose what projects I wanted to work with and who I wanted to work with. Through Suhail, I developed relationships with other owners of Fountain Square and acted as their owner's representative of many of their development and construction projects. If it were not for the honesty, integrity, character, and commitment to family and community, I'd be doing a lot more fishing. I have over 50 years of construction experience, mentored by the best, my father, who built such iconic structures as the Fountain Blue and Eating Rock on Miami Beach, Lucaya, and Marco Island. My experience includes rezonings, amending community comprehensive plans with the city of Longboat Key, and working with the Immokalee CRA on their storefront improvement program. I've worked closely with communities across Florida and have constructed a variety of projects from underground utilities and fueling stations to affordable housing, multi-story condominiums, warehouses, resorts, detention facilities, shopping centers, and multi-million-dollar custom residences. Our vision for Fountain Square is to create more than a development. We aim to create a destination, a place where residents can enjoy regularly while also attracting visitors from around the greater Tampa Bay area. To bring this vision to life, we've assembled a fantastic team of professionals. Our award-winning architect partner, API, has done projects around the world. And our general contractor, Diaz Fritz, has over 20 years of in Temple Terrace, with their office being in Telecom Office Park. We believe Fountain Square not only meets but exceeds the city and CRA's requirements. We'll invest approximately $9 million in the construction costs for the plaza itself, along with an additional $7 million in tenant improvements. We project a total cost of approximately $18 million for the project, including the land, bringing significant private investment and long-term economic value to the city of Temple Terrace and the CRA district. We are committed to delivering a first-class A development that will help set the standard for future development within Temple Terrace and the CRA district. Most importantly, Fountain Square Temple Terrace is fully committed to this project. If we are awarded the project, we are prepared to meet the highest offer on the project and waive all contingencies, closing immediately, with the intention of breaking ground in late 2026 and completing the plaza in late 2027 with tenant openings in early 2028. We thank you for your time and consideration. At this time, I'd like to introduce Rachel Marshall, who is the Vice President and Director of Operations for our architect, API. Thank you very much.
Hello all, thank you for your time today. I'll flip through the pretty pictures and I'll try to keep my tone short as well as explicitly focused on your initiatives. We were honored to be asked to collaborate on this team. Our firm is founded in collaboration with our clients, with our communities, and with the opportunity to develop consumer-centric environments, ones that are going to perform beyond just hitting a bottom line, but one that are going to perform for the community, for the people of the community, and that are going to be there forever, or at least as long as they possibly can be, depending on how Florida goes. So with that, I'm sorry if I pointed that at you. Our project mission is very simple here. Our project mission is to create a district that's rooted in meaningful experiences. We want to expand the gateway that is already starting over at Fountain Plaza into what we're calling Fountain Square. It is matching the same Mediterranean vibe of the Fountain Plaza got a little, okay. Fountain Plaza development, and then continuing it on along 56 in 360 architecture. We know that it is just as important to speak to 56 as it is to speaking to the environments that are going to be actively accessing this through pedestrian means, through biking, walking their dogs. And we want to make sure that we are cohesively involved with everybody, not just one side or the other. So as you can see here, the project vision mixes boutique shopping experiences with gathering spaces. Those are the little icons that you're seeing there. And then food and beverage for the rooftop, but complementing what is already existing. You'll see that those items are not necessarily duplicated because we're focused on diversifying. So a little keyword that I'll use here and there is diversify, not duplicate. Our team is committed to not giving you the same old in every single spot of this site. It's not to give you multiple smash burgers. It's not to give you multiple coffee shops. It's to give people the opportunity to get a little taste of everything and not to compete with the surrounding environment, but to complete it. You'll see spaces like this within the development. We make sure that we want to design something that is at a scale that people are willing to linger in. In addition, we want to make sure that we soften the edge of that street to maybe slow people down on 56 just a little bit, not to cause traffic, but to bring them into that environment and say, hey, you want to come here. You want to join us for this experience. And also to offer boutique shopping opportunities. You'll see later in this presentation the scale of these and the ability for them to be combined into larger opportunities, but also stay small for mom and pop shops. So our idea is to connect and inspire and really bring people into Fountain Square, day or night. So the actual site of this property, everybody is pretty well aware of it, so I'm going to skip through this. We have the opportunity to create this gateway and to continue this language on 56 and really start to double down and invest on this Mediterranean aesthetic as well as this communal environment. Got a minute and 58, guys. Okay, rallying. So before I get the hook, we're going to kind of skip through this a little bit and we're going to move into the site plan itself. We did take into consideration, in addition to the aesthetic qualities of this community icon, we want to make sure it's functioning. We want to make sure that it can get trash delivery and removal without affecting the pedestrian. So we looked at how we can have a delivery route that doesn't take away from the parking. We looked at how we can have awnings at entries to make sure that people getting dropped off by Uber or Lyft are able to escape the sun or the rain, as well as walk into a nice scaled environment quickly. We have the landscape buffer all around. We do have enough parking. And in general, it's just something that we want to make sure promotes the pedestrian interaction with the site. And we feel that we've achieved that with these various scaling elements. So as you can see, this would be the 56 view. So bringing some, this is the 56 view. So bringing some of that environment out so that people can get a peek of dining and activity within the space, but then also having some twinkly lights to draw people in because everybody likes a twinkly light. And then also having these very standard bay sizes, and they're standard for a reason. We have designated food and beverage, and we also have designated boutique shopping. They are all at 1,200 square feet. This allows for you to really truly diversify who you have in this environment. And I'm going to run out of time. Upstairs, we have the restaurant, and the restaurants are seated in the middle area and allowed to view over the parking area. So I apologize for running out of time, but there you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fountain Square. Albie?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you guys for taking the time. I cannot say that I'm a Temple Terrace resident, but I'm a frequent visitor, thanks to some family that relocated here a few years ago. And I have to say, as a career-long real estate investor and developer, I have a lot of admiration for Temple Terrace, and I think there's a lot of potential with these two sites that we're here to talk about. Just by way of very brief background, I know you guys have had the materials in advance. Our company invests and develops in commercial real estate across the country. These numbers are from a few months ago, but we've now deployed more than $200 million in commercial real estate with a particular focus on retail and mixed-use development nationwide. And our approach to retail in particular really centers around experiential and service-oriented retail. So we really like to spend our time thinking about the types of things that we enjoy doing, our kids, our mothers, so on and so forth, and then bringing those experiences together into a family-friendly and pedestrian-friendly environment. And that's what our proposal is really centered around. I'm going to skip over most of the technical items because, again, you guys have this in writing. We're prepared to offer all cash to buy the property, and we would close as soon as we get through a very typical due diligence and closing period, working with you all on zoning, approvals, permitting, things like that. Our design team spent a good amount of time trying to understand what your vision is for this site. We, like many of the other presenters, agree that this is an opportunity to create a real entrance or gateway into the city and to add to what downtown Temple Terrace already has to offer. And what we want to do is supplement that and continue to elevate what you guys have already worked so hard on. So we're really stuck with what we interpreted to be your vision for the space. We really tried to focus on a pedestrian-friendly space, and I will show you that here. So rather than maximize every square foot of building that we could generate revenue off of, we really thought about how we could pull people off of the sidewalk and into the center who are not driving, right? So we want to really encourage pedestrian activity. We want the residents that are walking their dogs or riding their bikes to have easy access into and out of the site. And so we created this breezeway from 56th that cuts right through the spine of the building towards the retailers' front doors and to the rest of the parking area. The idea here was we would deliver about a 27,000 square foot building. We would meet all of your parking requirements, all of your landscape requirements, ADA, and our understanding in talking to the team that was marketing this property for sale is that you guys are really focused on understanding the types of tenants and types of businesses that would be here. And so we really set out and we went out to our network of business owners that we've worked with in multiple cities and said, you know, this is the type of project we're working on in this location. Is this something that you would plan to flag in? And we were actually able to get 70% of our 27,000 square foot proposed building pre-leased or pre-committed by a number of tenants that are all listed here. These are best-in-class operators across various categories, from fashion to jewelry to food to coffee roastery. And, you know, right at contract signing, we're willing to put our money where our mouth is and say the tenants that we promised are the tenants you're going to get with signed leases delivered at closing. This is a little bit more about those tenants that I mentioned. You have 2 restaurants, a jewelry store, a world-class coffee roastery, and a women's fashion company with a global presence. 70% equates to, you know, just under 20,000 square feet, so we would still have about 7,500 to 8,000 square feet to play with and try to bring in some really great local complementary businesses to supplement the out-of-towners. I'm going to skip over most of this, but we've, you know, our in-house design and construction team has already budgeted the project. We understand what it's going to take to build it. As far as cost and timeline, we're happy to jump on this as quickly as the city would like us to, and we're not looking for any financing contingencies or anything of that sort. Just a very high-level introduction to some of the project team members. Studio Hillier is an excellent award-winning architecture firm out of New Jersey, 60-year history. They've worked with us programmatically across the country on our retail and mixed-use development projects. Pictured right underneath Studio Hillier is one of our shopping centers that they worked on in New Jersey. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, you have Yepcom, which is our construction management firm. They do all of our construction management and general contracting work nationwide. Our expertise really is in these types of micro-neighborhood developments, mixed-use projects, mixing retail with restaurant with other complementary uses. In this particular case, a lot of the heavy lifting's already been done. We have very complementary residential and retail right next door to us, and I think we could just add to that environment. I'm going to skip over why us. You guys have all of this information, some of our team members, and these are just some past projects that we've worked on. This one is a large-scale mixed-use development, $350 million, retail, office, multifamily, and hotel. This is Studio Hillier's retail work up in New Jersey, which delivered about a year ago. We have also done a good amount of multifamily work. I think I'm going to wrap it here. I appreciate your time and consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Will be questions at the very end of all of them.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Okay. The next parcel we're going to discuss. Is that me? Is 8447. This is approximately 1.74 acres with frontage on North 56th Street as well as River Hills Drive. We received 3 valid proposals during the notice and proposal period. TMA Investment Group LLC for a retail restaurant development. Enigma Events LLC for a retail restaurant and office development, and Albee Properties LLC for a restaurant development. Again, this is the order that we received the valid proposals, so we will go in that order, and you will have 10 minutes for these, and after this, we will do the discussion. TMA.
Hello again. You left your phone, somebody's phone here. Gentlemen, I got interested in that property, me and my partners, after I found out proposed planning for the city of Temple Terrace for the Riverwalk, and that was kind of great location for what we want to do. We're not gonna do big restaurants in there. We're not gonna do. We're going to make it almost like a food court style. You have the plans, how it looks like. It's not exactly a food court, but something will give a chance to residents of Temple Terrace to be able to Papa and Mama store, something specialty, special cake, special donut, special anything like this, that give the opportunity to people actually from Temple Terrace, not the big corporations. Somebody that's, they're not a brand name, but somebody wants to do a business in here with the city of Temple Terrace. And that's something hit home for me. I like it, I enjoy it. My first job, I got it in Temple Terrace. That's how I started a long time ago, 1981. I used to work in a FINA station. I don't know if you are familiar with it. Fowler and 56, it used to be a FINA. And that's why I have a special, something about Temple Terrace I always like. But this is what, not gonna be, again, it's not going to be a big brand name restaurant. It's not going to be, it's going to be something with seating in the middle. Some community can get together, go and grab a cup of coffee, get a donut, talk. That's about what my vision of that one. And whatever it enhance to, especially for whatever development that City of Temple Terrace is going to do for the Riverwalk, it's going to enhance it. It works together with it. Same thing is going to be seating. It's going to see courtyard seating. It's going to be rooftop seating with the glass. And Malad is going to give you an idea of how it's going to look like But again, it's not going to be a big major brand name restaurants, brand name or anything like that. It's going to be something for the local residents or for the people of Temple Terrace. To give a chance to small businesses, Papa and Mama, to actually own their own. Okay, Malad. Thank you.
Hello again. I'm presenting here the 8847 lot. It's a nice shape. It gives us, as architects or designer, the opportunity to work on it differently, design it differently. Again, with your vision and with the partner's vision, how they want to invest on it and how they want to be like as a destination for the people who lives in Temple Terrace, you know, and also for the visitors to keep nice memories of a very family-friendly space to share. So more than just like having that rooftop, we have that center. I'm just gonna try to go quick to one of those renderings with the, okay, well, that's the entrance, okay? We have like a separate coffee shop, and then we go all the way depth on the, yes, on the lot, to have this 10 stores on an L shape, and an outside center sitting area with the Mediterranean style, having the pergola and surrounded with the green bushes. The tiles speaks by themselves, the finishes speaks also by themselves, getting the same Mediterranean design language. The front doors are 24 feet height. The glass guardrails for that nice view over the river, over the North 56th Avenue, and again for the other plazas surrounding areas and building apartments. That's the ceiling. There is sufficient parking spots with ADA compliance, with dumpsters, circulations in and out, very easy, very thoughtful circulation for both pedestrians, cars, and utilities and management. As you can see here, the whole site developed. Now, same thing, we have 4 type of stores going from 1,500 square foot to 2,500 square foot, with corner one that it's going to be sort of a gallery for University of South Tampa. We already have some connections there, and they would like to have something, you know, to bring their students and their family students together, sometimes outside the university environment, you know, and to have them also enjoy what is Tampa is and what Temple Terrace City is, for, you know, bring more students and bring more, you know, friendly kind of type environment outside the university itself. This project as well, so that's the finishes. I didn't get a chance on the other project to show it, but this is all the details finishes that we're gonna have. Stuccos, colors, finishes, like the textures, and everything that has to do with the Spanish style or Mediterranean styles, from light fixtures, tiles again, and wood and iron as accents. The same thing like the other project is that 5% contribution revenue to the city of Temple Terrace for future development. That's the master plan there. This is the surrounding, almost same key highlights, because we're going same direction, both lots, and with same book. Some of the names, but doesn't have to be. This one most likely attended for the locals, as Atif stated, for mom and dad and and small businesses, to give them the opportunity to make something good for the city. So that was the purchase that I'm now, I just stated it. So whatever that dollar amount has been proposed with that 5% contribution. This is the project legend, which says clearly what the architectural identity is, the site plan integration, the rooftop experience, which is 12,000 square foot rooftop. It's very unique. And the type of design, which is the Mediterranean accent, consistency with city goals. Of course, we are aligned with the city goals all the way. And as a summary, this project is positioned as a landmark commercial destination combining strong design, functionality, and community value. I think I'm good.
Thank you, TMA Investment. Enigma?
Still afternoon. Good afternoon again. We did we are the owners of the adjacent property, Enigma Plaza, and we have put this also in a format of a video to make it easier. So,
We are pleased to present our proposal for 8447 North 56th Street, Temple Terrace, commonly referred to as the South Parcel. Enigma Group is focused on transforming underutilized land into high-quality end-use developments that contribute meaningfully to the surrounding community. We are actively developing multiple projects in and around Temple Terrace, with a strong commitment to enhancing the city's growth, character, and economic vitality. Within Temple Terrace, we are the owners and developers of Enigma Plaza, where we successfully revitalized a previously underutilized building in the downtown core into a Mediterranean-style, state-of-the-art retail and restaurant destination. Despite encountering significant challenges during the various stages of this project, including the loss of the project engineer, supply chain disruptions, increased material and labor costs due to COVID-19, and complexities associated with a grandfathered structure, we successfully navigated these obstacles and delivered the project to completion. In addition, we have acquired the former Mexican restaurant site at River Hills Drive and 56th Street, where we are planning a multi-level mixed-use development combining commercial and residential uses. We also own approximately 3.5 acres along River Hills Drive, where we are planning a 57-unit, resort-style residential community. Further, near the downtown bridge at Hillsborough, at the intersection of 56th Road and Puritan Street, we are developing a riverfront food truck park with outdoor seating and evening entertainment, designed to activate the waterfront and create a vibrant community gathering space. Today, we are excited to formally present our offer for the South Parcel. We are prepared to offer the full asking price of $1 million with a 120-day due diligence period. Within the due diligence period, we anticipate submitting site plans within the first 60 to 90 days, allowing the city approximately 30 to 60 days for review. Enigma Group has already conducted significant preliminary analysis of this site. The due diligence period will allow us to finalize design, engineering, and approvals in close coordination with city staff. Should additional time be required due to comments or revisions, we propose that the due diligence period be extended accordingly to ensure a fully approved and well-executed project. Closing would occur within 30 days thereafter. Our vision for this site, which we refer to as South Gate, is to create a thoughtfully designed, mixed-use destination that enhances the downtown experience. The ground level will feature approximately 20,000 square feet of interactive retail and restaurant space, including outdoor seating areas that engage directly with the surroundings. A signature restaurant overlooking the pond will serve as a focal point, creating a unique and inviting dining experience. The second level will include approximately 4,000 square feet of office space, along with a 4,000 square foot rooftop restaurant. Additionally, there is an option to incorporate a 2,000 square foot rooftop lounge, further activating the space and creating a destination for both residents and visitors. As owners of nearby properties, we are uniquely positioned to manage parking efficiently and curate a complementary mix of tenants. By designing for varied peak hours across uses, we can support a higher intensity of development while maintaining functionality and convenience. We have also incorporated a 15-foot wide, well-lit pedestrian walkway connecting the 56th Street bus stop to the city pond area. This feature is designed to enhance walkability, improve safety, and encourage community interaction. Additionally, the proposal includes an underpass element intended to improve traffic flow while contributing to a cohesive and refined overall design. Architecturally, the project is currently envisioned in a modern Mediterranean style. However, we remain flexible and are fully prepared to align the design with a more traditional Mediterranean character should that better reflect the city's vision. Our leasing approach will emphasize diversity in tenancy, ensuring a vibrant and complementary mix of businesses that strengthens both the local economy and overall user experience. To help bring this vision to fruition, we respectfully request the city's support in the following areas. Tree mitigation flexibility. Given our Mediterranean landscape design, which incorporates a higher proportion of palm trees, we request flexibility regarding tree mitigation requirements to maintain design consistency. Parking flexibility. While our plan already provides over 200 parking spaces, exceeding standard ratios, we may require limited flexibility to fully accommodate outdoor dining and activated public spaces. Priority review. Due to the multi-departmental coordination required for downtown projects, we request prioritized review and streamlined communication to maintain project momentum. In terms of timeline, construction is projected to begin within 2 months of closing and take approximately 9 to 14 months depending on external factors. We believe Southgate will serve as a catalyst for continued growth, creating jobs, attracting visitors, and further establishing Temple Terrace as a vibrant destination. We appreciate your time and the opportunity to present our vision, and we look forward to working collaboratively with the city to bring this project to life.
I guess we said it all. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Enigma. Albie?
Hello again. There we go. Okay, I will skip right to the good stuff. This property was super fascinating to me. It's very uniquely situated. It almost reminds me of like this secret garden or refuge off the beaten path in the hustle and bustle of 56th Street. So we spent a lot of time thinking creatively about what to do that's pleasant and delightful, but also without just clearing out the entire space and creating another plaza. The adjacency to the river is also an awesome opportunity, and I think creating some sort of connectivity between the site and the river, it would be almost a shame if we didn't do that. So here is a look at our vision. We tried to preserve as much of the green as we could while still, providing the practical things that we need. What we're proposing is a destination restaurant event space hybrid. So this is a full-service, family-friendly destination restaurant. It has a second floor that is partially indoor and partially outdoor on a rooftop terrace. And that second floor would primarily be used for private events. And it could seat events, whether they're corporate, personal, etc., anywhere from 30 to about 120 people on that second floor. We provided 6.5 spaces per 1,000 square feet, which we believe is pretty sufficient for the use, and still kind of maintained or tried to preserve this garden-like environment surrounding this hidden destination in the middle of the trees. I think this encourages really great pedestrian connectivity both to 56th Street and down to the river, which is already getting so much development along the river. So I think this will complement what's already planned. And then just a word on Al Basha, which is the restaurant that we're contemplating putting here. They are a nationally acclaimed Middle Eastern restaurant recognized by USA Today in 2024 as the best restaurant in the country. They're very excited about the opportunity. They would be happy to open up here. And that's our vision for the site. That's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello once again. That concludes all 7. I know that was rapid fire, but we did that with intention to allow for you to see all of the proposals now and still leave plenty of time for public comment, questions and answers, and discussion. So at this point, myself, the broker, and all of the various potential buyers are available for any questions that you have of us, and we'll stand ready to queue up any additional slide exhibits that you would like to discuss further.
Thank you, Mr. Pauly. Are there members of the public who wish to comment on any of the proposals? Okay. Seeing none, so, council, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this since we have really a lot of stuff to talk about. You want to go one parcel at a time and then everybody ask questions on one parcel to one proposal and then move to the next, or should we do one? Let's do that. So let's do 8901 first. And are there any questions for anybody on the TMA proposal on 8901? We have some time. We didn't expect to have this much time, so we do have some time. So, Councilmember Kravitz.
What was the question? If any of us have any questions for anyone on the 8901 property? Was that it?
Well, I was trying to start with the TMA group, but if nobody has anything for the TMA group, we can do it whatever. I mean, there's no set, just trying to move some kind of orderly so we don't have everybody jumping up and down.
TMA first, that's fine.
Okay.
Just checking.
Did you want to be recognized right now, or you want to think a minute?
If anyone wants to go ahead.
Okay, Councilmember Schiffler.
For TMA, I had 2 quick questions. One of them's for staff first. And this may be a moot point, but it said it was going to stick to the one-story concept. Does the rooftop restaurant cause any kind of issues with one story? I mean, would it not be the same as a 2-story unit?
It doesn't create a problem for us
There's no
as far as
differentiation.
zoning is concerned.
Okay.
The maximum height is what's governed. And 1 story with a rooftop, 2 stories with a rooftop would not be a problem for the maximum height.
What would be the height for 1 story with a rooftop? Your guess?
You're probably talking
60?
not even.
35.
Not even?
Yeah,
Okay.
not even.
Okay.
When you start going north of 45 and 50, you're talking 3 plus.
Right. Okay. All right, cool. The only other question I had, which was this is for the developer, was an interesting concept of establishing I don't know how to call it, down City of Tampa calls it the CRA, where the businesses contribute money to additional amenities for the area. I thought that was a very good concept, and I would hope maybe that some of the other developers would think along those lines. That was my main questions.
Okay. You all set?
Yes, I'm set.
Councilmember Kravitz.
I did have one question. I was a little surprised about the deposit, which seems to be 1.5 million. That's a very large deposit. Is there, that is accurate?
You have to come to the podium, sir.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. We have to be able to get you on the record.
5% applies for both of them. And that's, I think, something we should, just, if you remind me, just referring to that one, it's because of the development, the Riverside development is going to need maintenance in there. We love that area. I personally love that area. And that would help in a lot, is maintain the park area around the river. And we thought that's something that we owe to Temple Terrace.
Sorry, so your deposit to buy the property is 1.5 million. So
Yeah,
if you
that's the
want-
full price.
Right, but then you have a 120-day due diligence, so if you walk away during the due diligence period, you're going to forfeit 1.5 million? Is that the idea?
I don't get, I mean, like.
Well, I'm just asking, that's because it's an enormous deposit.
We
I've
already
told
did
that trick
our due
once in my
diligence.
life.
We already talked to the city, we had our due diligence ahead of time.
Okay,
So we already know everything that we need to know. So yes, $1.5 million deposit.
okay,
Sir, no, you have to come up here, though.
sure.
You can come up, you just have to come up here.
I don't want to be next to him.
Not crying
Listen,
about it.
the 1.5 million deposit,
Can we get your name for
my
the,
name is Nick Rifai, the broker for Giant Realty. I live here in Temple Terrace, and you guys, some of you have met me here before in previous presentation a while back. No, the $1.5 million deposit, as soon as we have the contract signed, will be deposit the money. We don't have to wait. We're willing to put the money as soon as we get approval.
Right, and the 5% for the,
5%, it's a contribution from the owners or from the developer toward the city of Temple Terrace in any way they think it needed for. Could be for the fire department, could be for the city other activities, whatever we feel it's fit to be in, with the coordination with the city of Temple Terrace, we're willing to give that money. It's going to be approximately about, in each project, about $60,000 a year, about $600,000 within the next 10 years.
right, I understand the concept. My question was.
Each, yeah.
Right, my question was, will you be imposing that on every tenant as a condition of their lease?
No.
Oh, no, no.
I'm sorry. That comes from us. The tenants has nothing to do with it.
That's come from the
owner
net.
of the property. That's our net. 5% of that will go to however the city of Temple Terrace wants to do it. It will go to the city of Temple Terrace, and they'll do whatever they want with it, as long as it's something to benefit the city.
Okay, I'm asking questions on this because, in effect, it is a much higher purchase price you're willing to pay if that's what you're doing. So I'm trying to understand how it's structured.
No, they already studied it. They already agreed to it.
We like the area. We really.
Right, no, I understand. Thank you, by the way, for taking an interest and also for the interesting proposal. So you are going to commit to pay 5% of your net or your
NOI,
gross?
from net operating.
From your
yes.
net, okay. So,
On both properties.
and you're willing to put that into a covenant with the city?
However the city wants.
Yeah.
And so every year, you're going to disclose
Absolutely.
your net proceeds from that property to us?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long do you plan to do that?
At least
Permanently?
10 years.
10
We
years.
can guarantee you 10 years.
Okay. That's certainly interesting. And the pre-leasing, you said you had 10 stores who were pre-leasing from you? Or did I mark that up for the wrong offer?
We have people very interested right now.
You do? Okay.
In some areas, we have a choice to refuse or not to refuse, but like I said, the first one is already okay, we can do that. The second one, I'd like to keep it in local. I'd like to keep small papa and mama people to give them a chance to it. I'm not looking for a big major brand name restaurants or anything like that.
Okay.
I feel like I like to do something for the local of Temple Terrace, not for the big corporation.
Right, I understand. And I didn't see a construction timeline.
It's,
She got it. She knows.
I got it on a flash drive because I didn't think that.
You don't have to show it to me, you can just.
Oh, no, okay, the construction timeline from closing to having tenant already there, it's 24 months.
Okay.
And I have it detailed into planning, permitting, construction, finishes, all of it.
That's pretty standard. I was just curious where you were at with that. Okay. No questions for me from that.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah, thank you. This question will go to all the groups for all the projects except Albee for the 8447 one. You'll know why in a minute. So you have a lot of small storefronts side by side. With your projects, and first I'm just asking, TMA, will you be able, if a tenant wanted a bigger space than the two, do you have the ability to combine the two?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just like a vanilla box. We can divide it however they want to. Some people want it smaller to give a chance, and that's one of the reasons why we want to give a chance. So somebody wants 1,000 square foot, and we like the person, we like this papa and mama. They want to knit hats. We like to give them the 1,000 square feet.
Okay,
I
thank you.
took this in consideration in my design. It is going to, even after construction, it's going to be more intent for a flex space. So it is doable.
Thank you.
Of course.
That's the only question I have.
No.
Okay, anything for Enigma on 8901? Yes, Vice Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Hi. Your event space that I'm seeing, the outdoor event space. Is that going to be natural grass, turf, astroturf or something like that? What is
We're
that?
looking at turf. It's easy to maintain, easy to replace every 2 years. Gives it a new look every 2 years. Grass would be difficult to maintain because we would have to have the people out before we maintain the grass.
Okay, so underneath that, you're going to have the proper drainage for an
Yes,
artificial
yes.
surface? Okay, good. And give me an idea, you said priority review is one of your conditions. What does that mean?
It's one of the conditions, it's one of the requests. City has its channel, they take normally 40 days before it goes into different departments. So priority review is if things can make it faster and we can have the development faster because we want to finish faster and we can start the construction. In our previous project, it took us some time towards ourselves and it took city also. We took months to discuss on the same issues and clear things out. So when I'm saying priority is if things can be given priority, we can look forward to finish everything between now and 18 to 20 months.
Okay, and a question for staff. Can we do priority review?
We traditionally try to prioritize all CRA projects, but obviously each situation warrants different levels of service. So
So this would not be out of the order.
this would not be out of the ordinary for us to address a CRA project with as much priority as time and staff allows.
Okay, thank you. Those are mine.
Councilmember Kravitz?
Good.
I saw his hand first.
Huh?
You're welcome to go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Thank you,
Councilmember
Mayor.
Schiff.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I had just two quick, one question for everybody, and I'm sorry I didn't ask TMA to begin with, but I'm sure it's not going to be an issue, is to make sure that all units, all proposals have connectivity to our major initiative back there for the master plan to make it walkable, basically from Boulder Parkway all the way down to the river. So that's that's going to be important. I believe it is. I think each one of them is. But I just wanted to, validate that with Enigma. And I know TMA, when you come up again next time, you can just let me know one way or the other. And it will tie in easily with our master pedestrian plan?
Yes, that's something we have already catered for, and if there's anything more requests on that, we can always take care of it. This is what we're trying to do. If we can develop both the parcels, we can have not only people walking from one end to another end in the public pedestrian area, also to maintain the kind of tenants who are coming to downtown. There's an influx on the 56th Street. There's an influx of a specific kind of food. We're trying to get away from it. This concept where it's social at 56, it's going to be a big multi-restaurants where it would be, we're trying to get Japanese, Mexican, all different kind of food into one area, and where it's also where people can come in and relax them. It also has a bar. So yes, coming back to the question, that's something easy for us to do it.
Okay, I got two other quick questions. One, it's a little bit below the asking price. Any particular reason for that?
Most of the space that, because our construction would be way less as compared, because we're keeping a big section of it towards a grass area. So we catered a bit off on that, but yeah, that's what we are catering for.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the last question I have, given all the issues that we had with the initial property, parcel was considered half a parcel B, where you are now, are all of your supply chain issues and management issues and so forth, have they all been solved?
So Enigma Plaza, Enigma Plaza was our first construction project, and we took a very old building which had a lot of baggage. Every time we tried to do some upgrade, some new challenges came up. initially it was a loss of engineer that delayed the whole project. We have to get 6 months on that. And anytime we're digging anywhere, there's some things coming up which need another city approval, another city review. That took us more time. Now that we have completed it and this is ground up, we're not looking at any delays. This is going to be simple and, as per the drawings, everything is there. We're not expecting any more surprises on that ground.
Your comments about what you had to work with. I was wondering how.
Oh, yes. Now
how
the
you were going to pull
supply
that
chain
off.
is back to normal after COVID.
Yeah.
It took us 2 years, yeah.
No, but my point is that I know what you had to work with. I know what you started with. I used to go shopping there when it was a lumber store
Yeah.
35, 40 years ago. Okay, I know what you had to work with. And I gave you a hard enough time in here, when are you going to get this done? So
Yes.
you've done a great job with it.
Thank you.
It's really a very nice project.
Thank you.
All things considered. So that's really all I had. As long as you get your problems fixed, it makes a difference. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
good.
We all normal now. We're trying not to use the same engineers and architects on the same thing. It would be a complete new line of engineers and architect. And we have taken commitment from them that within 90 days we will be submitting our proposal. So if we get through today, 90 days, we will have our final proposal here.
That's all I had, Chair.
Councilmember Kravitz.
Yeah, so thank you for coming by, and I love how Enigma Plaza has developed. I like going to Anka already. I'm looking
you.
forward to other shops. So just thank you so much for investing in Temple Terrace, and it's coming along beautifully. I have a couple questions. So the first one is just me giving you a bit of a hard time. Sorry. In the documentation, it said for the construction timeline, 12 to 16 months, and a second ago you just said 18 to 20 months. So please tell me it's not already slipping.
So 12 to 16 months is after the approvals.
Okay, got it.
18 to 20 months is we looking at from now until the end.
Okay.
Provided we get expedite service from Greg Pauly.
Sure. My other question is, you were the only bid, from what I could tell, that took the instruction about providing a public space seriously. So you have this grassy entertainment area with a screen. And my question goes a little bit in that direction. Comparing it to TMA's offer, where they say, we're going to take 5% of our net and we're going to put that into an improvement fund or whatever. Would you be willing to bind that public space legally to the city for a period of time so that it could be used as a real public space rather than a private landlord's?
We are open to it for, we can definitely sit back, and we can do, the thing is, we want to do events there in terms of small gatherings, small weddings, and if city has something that we can do it together, why not? In fact, the rooftop there is also a small event center where you can actually go have your small wedding or event or something, and that's what it's planned for. So yes, we can look into that.
Okay, please do, because I think conceptually, if you keep that space private and you say it's going to be for the public and then you reduce the price, right? You're making a sacrifice. But the only way that it could be valued as an in-kind payment to the city is if you were to say, I'm going to buy this property, I'm going to offer you a lower purchase price, but I'm going to provide this space for the public, for the city's use for 20 years. And then you could assign maybe like a monthly lease value to that space.
Yes.
And that would then potentially make your offer look more financially competitive.
So when we said that the offer is low, it wasn't because of the dedicated area, but it was because of the construction area that we were sacrificing. We could have built about 35 to 40,000 square feet on that, looking at the downtown, that, we're looking at more people coming in. We have to reduce it down to 30,000 approximately. But coming to that, we don't mind working with the city, but, the maintenance, like, we are right now talking to Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County, we are discussing the Riverside property where we're going to have a whole walkway and everything. We're planning on those things. Hillsborough County not even, compensate you about $5 million in compensations or as a partnership to do all of that. And it's kind of a private-public partnership. that the walkway would be jointly owned and people would have access to use the river and all those things. Coming to this property, if we can have a joint management, like, because I think every 2 to 3 years that turf have to be changed. That turf would be over $150,000, $200,000. So that's the kind of a reason, the value that we are catering for every 2 years, that 3 years, that they say, it goes all the way until 5 years, but we know 3 years it shades off, and with this Florida sun, we may have to change it. So yeah, but we most open to city, like in the contract we can work something out that so many number of days are given to city events, and they're most welcome to take it.
Right, so that would be very interesting to me, and I
Yeah.
think Councilmember Fernandez in May of last year also mentioned, wouldn't it be nice if we could take part of this property and make it into an event space? And I think yours comes closest to that vision, but I think I can't give it to the lowest bidder. I think that just is unfair. So if there were some way for you to make what you're offering informally a formal offer and say, for example, we're going to offer you this space, we're going to maintain it for you. Every 3 years we commit to change the turf, we're going to do all the maintenance, we're going to do all the hard work, and then you will have it available to you for public events officially, legally, then I think that would be very valuable.
I'm sure we can work with that.
Okay.
We can commit to that, where we can have a joint ownership or something, because we have a bar which is going to be half in and half out. So people who will be sitting there, we will have some tables and chairs being arranged there. But in case you have any private events or something, then we would make arrangements that's been removed and it can be catered for the private events, yes.
And I also like that yours is the only offer which has this public space faced inward instead of
Yes.
toward the street. So 56th Street is a major artery. I think facing things to that side, it is standard for urban planning, I recognize that, but I don't think it's going to help downtown become a more livable space. But having an event space in there, as we've seen with the food truck event several times, that does work, and people come in there and then they enjoy themselves.
Yeah, we hear since past 5 years, we've been hearing council, we've been hearing locals, what exactly they want, we've been attending most of the meetings that is jointly hosted with the city when it comes to public. So we get an idea what the people of Temple Terrace wants. So it seems like we have achieved it, and rest is up to the council to decide what they want.
That's all I have, thank you.
Any other questions for the Enigma group?
I have general questions, not for a specific.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Are there questions for the Fountain Square group? Yes,
Clarifying question.
city manager.
So just one clarifying thing. In your presentation, I think you said there are 200 parking spaces provided.
We counted the one outside parameters also, which is co-shared between the, I think ours is 160, and we counted the 40, which is
Public space?
the public space.
Okay, see, on that slide where you have the green space, I'm just asking, 'cause the green space is a big space. It's attractive space, but I'm just
Yeah.
trying to do the math in my head. So you have the green space, and then on the remaining private parcel, you're gonna accommodate 160 parking spaces?
Yes, I think that's what I can, if I'm not 100%, it's around that, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
We are well within the parking area, but as soon as you compare about events, we go over the parking requirements, because events will call extra people. That also said, if it's an evening event, if you will see Winn-Dixie fades down, and there's a parking arrangements between all the parcels where we all can benefit each other. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Are there questions for the Fountain Square group?
Yes.
Start with Councilmember Kravitz this time.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you. I'll just lead off by saying you obviously have the most skin in the game because you own the property next door to this. So I like that. Thank you very much for investing and for doing such a good job with that property. I love going to the Starbucks, so thank you very much. And it's a great development. So good turnaround there. I have a question about the voluntary use restriction. So it's hookah, smoke, and vape, you've said, right? Those are not going to be.
That's correct.
Yeah, sorry. I was outside of my.
Yeah.
There's going to be a deed restriction for no hookah lounges or vape or smoke shops.
Okay. Anything else that you're restricting?
Not at the moment.
And The, what sort of signage are you envisioning in that space? Like, you're facing it, I know that you had a very strong emphasis toward 56th Street, right? You wanted to bring people in, and so I associate that typically with like really big
Bold
signs,
signage.
right?
Understood. Yeah,
Okay.
so we specialize in wayfinding placemaking, and so it doesn't necessarily have to be bold signage per se. It should be scaled to the space and obviously to the number of tenants. And I know that there was a previous general question that I'll answer in conjunction with this to keep it moving. But we are a team that has specialized in both rejuvenating communities and mixed-use developments such as Hyde Park. That's probably the most notable in this local area, as well as nationwide. So what we focus on is making sure that we, one, allow spaces that can be expanded or contracted based on who is going to be taking that space. And the signage kind of will go with that, right? And so the amount of signage will be strongly based on the actual leasing potential, but then the type of signage will be designed in as such that it is at scale to that pedestrian environment. So it's not about being a billboard, it's about being a space where people feel comfortable to meander and see, but also so that tenants feel that they are represented on both the 56 and the community side.
And may I add that it'll be channel letters, it won't be panels as far as lettering goes. And Fountain Square will be featured prominently, as the rendering showed, with individual identifications for the tenants there.
I was happy to see that you considered EV charging. And I was wondering if you were also considering bicycle parking.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's probably not explicitly noted on the plan, but that's something that every community hub
Multimodal
needs.
and
So it will be a
transportation.
part of that. Mhm.
If I may, we've also designed the property on a smaller scale for drawing people in, event spaces, by having the open corridor in both the lower level and the upper level. You know, we envision holding events like other of the people have proposed, you know, having, you know, music and things like that within that area to try and draw people in.
Really try to give both a front porch and a back porch as well as a courtyard. And same thing for the rooftop area. It's not all privately focused up there. It could be some shared spaces as well as down on the lower level, which is going to gather people and send people upstairs to activate those spaces.
Well, the open rooftop area is covered. There's a roof over that, you know, so it's, you know, 24/7, I mean, 365 days a year use in that space.
Right. Okay, so awesome. Thank you for coming to Temple Terrace and for doing the investment. I really do appreciate it. I really think it's excellent when people have two properties next to each other. You have a much stronger incentive to have a balanced tenant mix. And I think that when your one property is suffering and it impacts the other one, it also incentivizes the landlord to keep both properties up rather than just kind of jettisoning one. But I was a little bit surprised to see such a long due diligence period and such a long period for approvals where you could potentially tie up the city's property for over a year. So why is that? If you already own the property next door, you should have a good idea of how it works, right?
Yes, and in my presentation, we're willing to waive all contingencies. We're familiar with the property. We know we're familiar with the monitoring well that's in the middle of the site and all that stuff. And so at this point, we're willing to waive all contingencies and close, you know, as soon as we can get a contract together immediately, essentially. You know, we weren't allowed to modify our official proposals, but I wanted to convey that.
Okay, so you would be an uncontingent offer from what it sounds like.
Correct, and like I said, we want to break ground before the end of this year. And we feel strongly that we'll be able to get the architecture, the approvals, and everything else necessary to do that.
Thank you for answering my questions. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Councilmember Schiffman?
Yeah, I had two questions. Most of it borders around the 12,000 square foot and then the 5,500 square foot in the public area. I'm having difficulty envisioning how that would work.
Can we pull up the, I'm sorry, I'll tell you what slide to be on. Take a look here. That was where I was speeding through the end.
There you go.
And I wish I could zoom in. Can I zoom in? Maybe not. Okay, so I will try to articulate it verbally. So on the left-hand side, this is the first level. We've got 3,600, and this is a mirrored plan, so I can speak to one side and just understand that it is mirrored. We have 3,600 square feet of food and beverage, which could be 3 individual tenants, or it could be 1 tenant, or it could be 2 tenants, however that works out. Then towards the center, we do have the boutique shopping. Those are also 1,200 square feet. So 4 units, that's 4,800 square feet. And there is one main hub that you can see there with the stairwell that allows for the utilities and all of the kind of the back of house flexibility that you need to have for those tenants to truly function and have it in a centralized space. So whenever you combine all of those together, and then you also take, we used a very, very large spilling out of plaza-like walkways and sidewalks. So I believe if I have it on the next one, I'm hoping that I have it on this. Okay, I do not have it on this, but I can still speak to it. I believe that we are no less than 15 feet for our sidewalks on the front. So if there was an event or something that we were bringing in food trucks, there would be the ability for somebody to congregate in that particular front area as well as behind. Behind, I believe we get to a depth that's even greater than 15. I think it gets to about 20. And to Charlie's point, the upstairs, that covered space, that shared covered space, it is there for restaurants to spill out, but it is not denied to the public. So that does give you a covered shared space. And then down below, you have that central atrium that is also weather covered, that is contributing to that overall 12,000 square feet.
So the public
it's-
space
The
is
public
that
space
whole-
is everything.
That whole T-shaped area.
Exactly.
On both the front and the back, along
Right.
with the center corridor,
Yep.
where we can hold events, small art shows, music.
It's meant to be lived
that type
in.
of stuff.
It's meant to have those amenities to allow people to gather and spill out of the stores or spill out of the food and beverage areas, but also just gather and have fun.
Okay, now just one little question, and don't laugh, but did I hear you say you guys had matched the best offer?
That's correct.
Okay, so you'd matched the 16, well, 1.6? Okay,
Correct.
all right, very good.
And
Thank
clo-
you.
And close immediately.
Okay, that was my questions, thank you.
Side, any questions for the Fountain Square folks? At this
Not
point?
specific.
Not at this point, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your
Albee,
time.
Any questions for Albee on 8901? Councilmember Kravitz.
Albie? Hi. Thank you for making an investment here, at least for offering to. I do appreciate it. I was a little bit surprised by the size of your deposit because you're making an all-cash offer and it's $1.445 million, but the deposit is only $25,000. Who does that? I've made bigger deposits on single-family homes.
Crazy.
What's going on here?
We can make the deposit whatever you'd like it to be.
Okay, well, it just seemed a little odd. So you're not having any difficulty raising money. Is that why the deposit is small?
I think we submitted proof of funds, if I remember correctly, so
Okay.
money's not an issue.
All right. Well, I just had to ask. That's all I have.
Any other questions for Albee on 8901? Okay, well, we'll move to 8447, and since Albee is up here, are there questions? Are there questions for the Albee representative on 8447?
Any chance to pull that?
Okay, give us 1 second.
Take your time.
Anybody else locked and loaded here, or
Probably.
Albee on 8447? No?
Oh, that's an interest. I wasn't ready for that one. Hold on.
I can go back in order if it's throwing everybody off.
Just got to see something.
Okay.
Just a little off.
This
Oh,
is the
I-
El Basha restaurant proposal, yeah.
I did actually have a question on that.
Okay, Councilmember
So,
Kravitz, you're ready, and then you're, oh, cool.
regarding the south parcel, I'll just call it, and the north parcel, one thing that I did notice in your submittals was the tenants that you named for both of them are the same. So I'm wondering, do you have different tenants for the north parcel and the south parcel? Or are you just saying that what you'll get those tenants and then you'll move them around however it suits you?
If that's the case, that's our mistake. The south parcel being 8447 is intent, and our vision is to have it as a single tenant destination restaurant event space. So that's El Basha, which is, like I said, nationally acclaimed restaurant.
You're gonna get one big restaurant. Understood. Okay.
Yeah, everyone else is for A901.
That was my question. Thank you.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
Yeah, the only thing on your, I know it's just a preliminary site plan in your drawings, and this is really for the other two groups also. I know there's some mention of connectivity to the city's south side, to the park and the new area and all that. It just still doesn't flow like through the parking lot and stuff, so I don't know, under final site plan, you'd be able to correct that?
Yeah, so we were actually just talking about that last night. You can see kind of a pedestrian path going
Yeah.
plan east. It really needs to turn and go towards the river, which is our intention. And we'd be happy to work with your team.
But also connectivity to north of that property too. I mean, the whole idea is everybody from Bullard all the way down, we want people to be able to go up and down.
We would love nothing more than that.
Okay.
I think connectivity, everyone wins with that, so.
All right, thank you, that's the only.
Any other questions for, yes, Councilmember Schisler?
You didn't make the this isn't in your presentation, it isn't a presentation from Enigma, where they're having a dedicated walkway east-west from the bus stop back through to Bertha Palmer Drive. Is there a way that you could work that into your concept?
I think if that's something that's important to the city, we would find a way to make it work.
It improves the connectivity to public transit and brings people into the city and into the development.
And that's the kind of input that we need,
Right.
right? I'm not from
Understood.
here. So I think what we would like to see on a project like this is collaboration between the right folks in City Hall to tell us things like that that are important and impactful for the neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Anything else for the Albee proposal on 8447? Oh, Councilmember Kravitz.
Just one small question. I had a little bit of confusion about the closing date. So is it 30 days after due diligence or 30 days after final development approvals? Which one
Notice
was
that
it?
as well, and it's 30 days after due diligence.
Okay, after DD. Thank you. That's all.
Apologies for that.
Okay, how about the Enigma Group on 8447? Councilmember Schisler?
I love the walkway concept. That's a big deal for me. I like that.
Thank you.
Connecting public transit with the whole project. I like the fact that you got the LOIs with so many potential tenants. I think that's good. My only real question is, you're shaking your head. Is for staff. Do the palm trees, there was an issue with palm trees and tree coverage. Did that, palm trees count for tree coverage, yes? Okay, so you were looking for some consideration, unless I'm getting my proposals mixed up. You were looking for some consideration on the tree mitigation aspect of it.
I think what Mr. Singh, and I don't mean to speak for him, he's standing right behind me, but I think what he was seeking was relief from mitigation on having to remove trees from the existing site. As I'm sure you are very much aware, we use palm trees elsewhere in that area.
Right, that's why I was-
So it is customary to have palm trees planted in the area, but I think Mr. Singh is more interested in relief on the mitigation contributions for having to remove some of the large oak trees.
Correct.
I'm sorry.
So thank you, Greg. You said most of it. So according to my knowledge, when you're removing a shade tree, it has to be replaced to a shade tree. Palm tree is not in a heavy, shade tree has categories and palm tree is at the end. So when you're replacing a 24-inch oak tree with other shade trees, you would have to replace it according to the 24-inch, but palm trees reach to the lowest category. So we may not be able to reach that mitigation. We're going to have a lot of palm trees on there and other trees as well, shade trees where it's not bothering, and palm trees for the aesthetic. So that's the kind of we asking for relief on that part of it.
Okay. Now I realize why Mr. Pauly was having his head twitching. I can't read my own writing. Do you have any LOIs for the tenants?
So we have a lot of LOIs, and we're trying to guide the Enigma Plaza in a specific direction. We on the first level, like here, we have a salon suite who wants to be in Enigma Plaza, and we are not allowing him because we want to have more restaurant, retail-based. So we are trying to get them on the first level of this. So yes, there are a lot of LOIs. In fact, we are bombarded with LOIs every day. We receive an average of 10 to 12 a month. Tomorrow I have meeting with 6 of them. Most of them come with a similar concept of Mediterranean food. So we're trying to limitize it, and we're trying to have a variety where it can be different stores and not complementing each other next to each other. So by having the south parcel, we can also guide that. So we don't have the same coffee shop next to a coffee shop, Mediterranean restaurant next to a Mediterranean restaurant. So that's what we're trying to do.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I appreciate the answer. Sorry, Mr. Pauly.
Councilmember Kravitz?
Great concept, love it.
Thank you.
And also the parallelism, 2 properties right next to each other, very nice. I wanted to ask if you would be willing to legally commit to the lighted walkway to the city pond and the underpass element.
Yes.
You are willing to do that? Okay, that was my question.
That's a key feature, so
Yep.
we're going to keep it here.
Other questions for the Enigma? Okay, thank you very much. And the last one is the TMA group for 8447. Are there questions for the TMA's proposal for 8447? I may have made you walk for nothing.
I have no idea. But I can talk, I can mention something about that property.
Doesn't appear that there are any questions for you concerning the proposal for 8447. So
Which one is that? That's the south one?
That's the south one.
Yes.
So I'm sorry for
Mine's
having.
The same question was connectivity.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Connectivity, we have the same.
I am sorry for making you walk up for.
No problem.
Thank you.
It's all right.
Okay, council members, if there are no further
I
questions.
have questions for staff. just
Okay,
general-
Councilmember Fernandez.
General questions.
Yep.
Okay, so as part of our design approval process, I know that we have parking requirements, but have we considered golf cart parking? If we are somewhat of a golf cart community, and we want to encourage people to come up to this property, both properties in different means of transport, but I didn't hear anything, nobody mentioned golf cart parking, and I don't know if the city has a process for requesting some number of those.
We do not have a requirement for golf cart parking. We have entertained and had discussions in previous projects with golf cart parking. Golf cart parking and bicycle parking are all considered part of the multimodal program, which is strongly encouraged because it's what allows our CRA developers to receive waivers against their transportation impact fees. So from time to time, we do have that question. Now, from a developer standpoint, most of the gentlemen and ladies in the room will tell you that parking is often very valuable for their projects, and a golf cart space takes almost as much as a regular parking space. So there's always that internal challenge as to they've only got so much real estate to work with. They're obviously trying to create the best, highest use that they can within our community. So there's always that internal challenge about, are they going to actually dedicate parking spaces for golf cart parking? And that's a discussion that usually is had during the DRC process.
Okay, so, it wouldn't necessarily matter. If somebody's driving up there in a golf cart versus their car, they're going to park in a parking space.
That's exactly
But
what they've told us.
I wasn't sure if that did anything to change the parking requirements, the square footage allocated to parking or anything like that.
It does not. It still counts as a parking space.
Okay. We've talked, this is not necessarily specific to these properties, but this is about connectivity from the other side of 56th Street in order to utilize these, the developments that we're talking about. Is there anything that we would need to do as a city to require in the design on this side of 56th Street in order to, in the future, create better connectivity across to the other side of 56th Street?
Well, let me start by saying that's slightly outside of my sandbox. I can talk in very general terms, but in reality, that's for our engineering department to engage in, and they do participate actively with our DRC process. So having said that, both of these properties front 56th Street. Even though, once developed, one of them is designed to actually face away from 56th Street. But because they take access from 56th Street, they are subject to FDOT review as well. So not only do our engineers look at it from a transportation and access standpoint, the FDOT folks look at it as well.
Yes, city manager?
So I think also to add to that is that about 2-3 years ago, the city did put in a request as far as the transportation improvement plan to add a signalized intersection at Chicago, which would have the pedestrian crosswalks and to walk on the white signal. That request wasn't prioritized, so it doesn't look likely. If memory serves, and I have to check with engineering, get back to the council, but I believe they are defaulting to a potential pedestrian crossing there, signalized pedestrian crossing, but I'll have to confirm that. But that would allow, against one means, to get folks from the west side to the east side of 56th Street.
Okay, 'cause I'm just thinking about like any specific design elements that would need to be considered in any of these proposals to make sure that that future, we're not forgetting that.
No, and I understand totally. It's just outside of my sandbox, so to speak. That falls under Public Works and Engineering. So
Okay.
I don't want to speak
Right.
hard to that because I don't necessarily know the correct answer.
So as far as the design, the facades, basically, for each of the proposed projects, do all of them meet the design elements that are specified in the CRA, or are there, are some of the facades outside of that?
Well, again, please note that all we're looking at right now is renderings. We're not looking at true elevations. So we would actually have to see the true elevations. Most of what I've seen does fall within a Mediterranean style. I think one of the presentations actually comments on a traditional versus a more modern Mediterranean front style. But that's a very hard thing for me to respond to, just looking at a rendering.
I just want.
We would have to look at an elevation,
So
but they're all very much aware of the standards for the CRA.
Okay, so if any of the projects that go forward into the future, that is actually going to be through the approval process and the site review process?
I'm not aware of any interest by any of the developers to seek waivers on architectural styles.
Okay. So my last question has to do with the kind of the open air space. For our city codes, do we have any limits on that open space, how it can be used? Meaning, would we have to do anything to change our permitted uses to have gatherings in the open space, or to, have a screen with movies, or is all of that activity, I mean, I know I've asked for active in that area before, but I'm asking, is all of that fully within the intended scope of that space, or would there be anything the city has to do to make that possible?
That's going to be something that we may have to make an amendment, depending on the true scope and use for the spaces. I know that when we discussed a prior, and I think Mr. Mueller may be able to add to this a little bit, when we looked at a prior proposal that involved more of a sporting activity, there was some question as to whether or not that fit the space as well. But those things are all reviewed, both DRC and through legal. And obviously, if it's the city's goal to activate a space of that nature, then we would be bringing forward the necessary amendments to make that happen.
City Manager?
So I just wanted to pick up on that. So there was a conversation about that open space and whether it would be perhaps dedicated, and I'm not putting words in Mr. Singh's mouth, he's not committing to that, but there was a conversation about dedicating it to the public potentially. So I just want to raise the operational concern with that, which is as we speak, or earlier today, the legislature is passed a bill to reduce property tax and some of the uses for property tax. We're going to be struggling to fund our operation going forward if that ballot initiative is approved in November. So I'd be very reluctant to take on an additional responsibility already on top of all the other responsibilities we already have, dedicated and encumbered and planned for. So I'd just be concerned about that. I love the idea about the private space, and it sounds like that's where Mr. Singh was going, and operating that privately but open to the public for events and attracting people. But again, if we're going to make it public, I think that's a longer conversation that we need to have.
And those are all my questions.
Okay. Are there other questions for staff or our broker, Councilmember Kravitz?
Just want to briefly clarify a point. It doesn't have to be structured in a way that it costs us anything. It could be structured strictly as our option to use it. So that's where I was thinking, because otherwise there wouldn't be any value add, right? So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And I did have one question to whoever might want to answer it. The Al Basha restaurant, there is an LOI attached to that, I believe. Could anyone tell me what is the penalty for Al Basha to walk away from the LOI at this point?
I'm sorry, you'd have to refer to the developer for that. That's
sure.
something that we're...
pardon. Okay, I thought it was...
So right now, it's an LOI, it's not a lease. We would work towards signing a lease simultaneously with signing a contract with you all.
Okay, so my read was there's no penalty to, there's no like...
Correct,
money in
yeah,
there,
yeah, it's a letter of intent. Until there's a lease in place, it's a letter of intent.
A lot to stake on one tenant. How do you know them?
We are actively working with them on rolling out multiple restaurants throughout the country.
There's just like a build-to-suit thing. They approached you and they said, we'd like to go to Temple Terrace. Can you build us a restaurant and then give it to us as a lease?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Other questions for staff or our broker? If there are no further questions, the anticipated actions at this step for the council would be a motion of approval to move all or one or some combination of proposals for 8901, and the same thing would occur for 8447, a separate motion. So that would be the anticipated action at this point.
Okay, a question first.
Yes.
Excuse me. So what if we move one or multiple ones forward for tonight, what's our action plan for tonight? What are we
Okay,
expected to do
no,
tonight?
good question. So then at the council meeting, which will start in about 42 minutes, we would then hear those proposals again. I think they're probably what we've done historically is the presentations are somewhat abbreviated since we've heard the whole thing. The public would have an opportunity for comment because there will probably be public there that isn't here now. There would be another question period for council. You might want to drill deeper on the questions. A little more discussion, although we can have discussion now if you choose, but a little more in depth. And then at the council meeting, we would make a decision to direct staff. Well, we would either make a decision to direct staff to do something, enter into negotiations, or we would not. That's up to the council, obviously, but that's what will happen at the council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
So the question for us now is, what do we as a board want to move forward for discussion at the next meeting?
I'd really like to hear what everybody thinks at this stage.
Well, I think that there is value in each of the proposals that, I mean, I have some that I prefer, but I do think that there's value in each of the proposals. For different reasons, they'll bring something a little bit different. So I'm not necessarily ready at this point to say, this one's totally off the table.
Okay. Well, we need two motions to make that happen. We need one for 8901, and then we would need one for 8447.
Okay, then I move forward the 4 proposals for 8901 North 56th Street to City Council.
Second.
Motion and second. Discussion of the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. We'll move those forward for our city council meeting, and now we'll take up 8447.
I feel the same way about 8447.
Got to say the magic words.
So I'd like to make a motion to move the 3 proposals that we've received for 8447 North 56th Street to the City Council meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion of the motion. If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. That's what we will do with 8447. We will hear these again at the city council meeting. We're going to have to strike a balance between doing the whole thing over, but also be aware that we may have members of the public who are either here or watching the council meeting that might not have watched this. So there will be some measure of duplication of what we've already done. So with that, board members, yes.
Make one 30-second comment.
Sure.
Thank you, staff. Thank you, Mr. Starr, our broker, and thank you to all the investors and presenters. Very good presentation, all up and down. You were able to answer our questions. Thank you very much for your cooperation and your interest in our city. We appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Okay, other board members, is there anything else for us to discuss before we adjourn? Yes, Councilmember Kravitz.
I have a thought. It's directed to everyone up here, but also to some extent to the audience. From my perspective anyway, it's difficult to approve an offer or endorse one when the cash offered is significantly below another offer, no matter how much I or we might like a particular offer. So just as a point to anyone who might have made an offer that was quite low, my recommendation would be maybe revisit that and see if you can stretch that offer to move it in line with the other ones before we proceed, because otherwise, personally, I will be looking at whether there is a big difference between. You don't have to respond. I'm just saying, we're going to go into round 2 in a minute, but I'd be curious to see if the people who have submitted offers that are noticeably weaker will sweeten them in some way. So I think that's very important, and that then we can evaluate really on the merits more than on the amount of money offered. And I think that's best for the city, because we want to obviously have the best offer. We don't necessarily want to go with one that's better and lose out money, or go with a worse offer that has more money in it, because that would be the reasonable thing to do. So that's just my thought at this stage. So
Thank you, Councilmember. Mr. Mueller, that's contrary to legal advice we've gotten in the past. Can you clarify?
Yeah, unfortunately, that goes against the competitive bidding process, where really can't alter it after the bidding's, the competitive bidding's been closed. So going to have to, I think, evaluate each one with the bid that's been proposed and no amendment to it.
I could ask a clarifying question on that then. So as we proceed into the next phase, where we're actually evaluating past a bid and moving into an actual negotiation, at that point, there will be various legal terms that will be hashed out that are not currently defined or in the scope of the bid, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so, and when that happens, there will be a back and forth, and it might be possible that the city will receive some kind of benefit in the form of those negotiations, presumably. Am I wrong?
I think we need to just tread carefully on
Okay.
that. I'm a little concerned upon violating the competitive bid process as we move forward. I think as it comes forward, we'll just, I think, assess it at that time, if there's something that's coming forward, but I think you need to assess or evaluate each of these bids as they came in at the city council meeting this later
That's
today.
fine. I understand, but nevertheless, we've had a discussion with some of these developers, and we've pushed back on them with questions, and we've asked them if they would be willing to do this, that, or the other thing. Many of us did. Maybe me most of all, but I wasn't the only one. And as we go into the next phase, some of those developers will be offering those things, presumably, and then we should consider that, or we shouldn't ask the question. So which one is it?
I would evaluate the bids as they came in. I would not be looking for any increase in their offer. And as far as any, like where you wanted to have a dedication of the public space and stuff like that, I would have to look into that a little more before I could answer that now, as far as that being a part of the process.
Yeah, we also had items raised like the connection way.
Yeah, the public
kinds of
space.
things
the
all came up, and
all
various
those
people
being
raised those.
dedicated to the city.
Yeah.
I would have to evaluate that as far as whether that can be changed at this time. Certainly not any of the offers.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt. Are you, okay.
Good, yeah.
Can I ask a related clarifying question that goes kind of to the same point? I'm going from memory because we have had like open bidding breakout here at meetings and had to stop. This was years ago. But wouldn't it be appropriate for us when if or when we give direction for our broker and staff to enter into negotiations with somebody that has made an offer? Wouldn't it be appropriate for this council to say,
Yeah.
we want you to enter into negotiations with proposal A. However, we would like you to pursue A, B, and C while you're doing that? Because the results of their negotiations would have to come back for us for approval. This is in the sunshine. Couldn't we say, just hypothetically, like, I like project A, but I don't like how it's sitting on the property, or I don't like the fact that it's got this or that. When you enter into negotiations, would you please try to negotiate for it to be repositioned, or please try to negotiate for a different style of architecture? But we're giving direction to them, not asking them to change their bid. Would that be okay?
Yes, I mean, after the negotiation process, and if that's what you're asking, I apologize, I did not understand it to be that way. But if you decide to move forward with any of these into the negotiation process, I believe that would be an appropriate time to do it. I was just more concerned about the bidding war.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, and I don't know that I do, and I certainly don't want to put words in another person's mouth, but if hypothetically we liked a certain project, but we didn't like the price that was offered,
Yeah.
could we say the same thing, say, look, we like this project, but when you negotiate, would you see if they're willing to pay X? And we're not asking them here. We're asking our team to negotiate, and we're doing it in the sunshine, but we're asking our folks to negotiate with them for a higher price or a different design or a different whatever. Would that be?
And this is at what point? I guess that's where it's not coming across.
Well, where we say, somebody up here says, well, I'd really like to see negotiations on project X, but I don't like this part of it.
Right.
What I can try and do is give you a clear answer on that this evening in this break
Okay.
time. I would like to try
All
and
right.
take a look at
I
that.
think we've done that before. We said, I really like that, but I don't like,
I just want to be sure.
you want to paint this building blue, and we don't want a blue building. We want it, or whatever.
Yeah, if you can just give me, I just want to be sure on it.
Not to belabor the point, because we had this discussion previously, we're not to make a decision saying, well, they said they might increase that a little bit, we'll go with that because this is the number that they've offered. And I think what you're trying to say is that we can't make that change on the fly because the bids have already been submitted. We've been down that road before.
Correct. I just got to see I want to be confident in telling you what can be negotiated and what can't at the next phase.
what can be negotiated or what can be used as a criteria tonight or negotiated?
Well, I was looking at negotiating after tonight, but I know that you wanted to maybe talk about that. That's why I needed to look at it in a break. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Briefly on
Yes.
this. I mean, in my perfect world, we negotiate with everyone here all the way up to the point where we, at the last moment, figure out which one of them we want, because that gives us the best and the strongest position. So we enter into negotiations, in my perspective, with all of them. That's how you do it commercially, in the optimal way. So you tell me if there's some law against that. But my idea would be, we're negotiating with all of these submittals. We try to get the absolute best value out of every single one. And when we've decided in the negotiation what that value is, it's brought back here, and then we look at it one more time and decide. Is that not acceptable?
Yes, I think what you described, I think is acceptable. I just want to check on it because I don't want to run afoul of have you guys run afoul of anything. So give me just a break, but I think that's appropriate.
Mildly concerned with this becomes a never-ending story.
Yes.
We never get the opportunity to make a final decision. But, okay.
Okay, very good. Anything else to, okay. We will reconvene, looking very similar, but sitting as the city council. We will reconvene at 6 PM.